The
Ahoy,
queen.
hoy!
Oh,
Wait, are we?
We're live, yeah.
Ahoy,
Okay.
hoy, and welcome to Players and Book, where I get to DM for the best players in the world, including Katie Downey, Lauren Urban, Latia
Hi.
Jaquise, and Jennifer Kretschmer.
Hello.
We're doing good.
It's been a thing.
It's been 1 week.
Muted.
We're
No,
not?
I'm not.
All right. Let me do the credits, and then I'll pass it to you, Katie. Cartography
Okay.
by Shay and Peku. Cartography by Shay and Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek46. Custom tokens by Shay and Peku Tokens. Overlay art by Pack Stream. Custom world map by Frecklesketches. And logo and character art by Luke McCay.
Luke did a fabulous job. I will throw that Essequa art up again when we get to Latia so that she may squee about it and everyone can celebrate the gorgeousness of it. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie, your friendly neighborhood shenanigator. I am playing Dominique Jamon this evening. She is a Triton College of Eloquence bard. And I also have the wonderful chance to tell you all about a fabulous game called Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm is a fabulous idle play game, so you can like sit there and focus on it and like manipulate your lineup and all this stuff with all these cool characters, or you can set it and forget it and then just come back and get rewarded, and it feels really good. It's a fun game. Anyways, they give us this awesome code so that you can get a free item in chest, an Electrum chest. And this week's code is Atok Punt Hope. So I'm feeling like maybe a Scandinavian thing here. Atok? Wait, what was it? Atok Punt Hope?
I mean, I was gonna go Klingon, but that works too.
Oh, well, I think they're really similar.
Does
The
seem
Swedes
more
and the
Klingon,
Klingons
yeah.
are like this. Anyway, you can
That
find
is
me on...
also debating the quantum state of Dominique now that you said you are playing her, but we actually
Yeah.
know she's alive. So this is great.
And also, you're going by the name Tallulah right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Tallulah. It's a... Okay, look, for all the names we've gone through, I've messed it up once. I think that's pretty good.
I mean, you kind of are playing all of them, right? We're literally in the process of getting you someplace where you can be Dominique, so you could be
Who am
someone.
I?
Yeah, so you could be who you were meant to be. Who
Yeah.
am I? I'm Lauren Urban. She, her. I'm playing Fairlos. Also, she, her. The Tabaxi cleric who's just trying to keep the irony is she's trying to herd these cats.
Oh my god, that is funny.
It's truth. It's the truth.
The cat is hurting us.
Mm-hmm.
I am Jen Kretschmer. You can find me on the interwebs at dreamwisp.bisky.social, on Twitch as dreamwispjen, doing a bunch of things that are coming out at some point soon that I will talk about then. But mostly have discovered the exciting fact that you can turn on audio description on RuPaul's Drag Race, which is one of the coolest ways to up your description skills if you want to learn to describe amazing things, and also watch fantastic drag. And today I am playing Reveal It, and maybe having technical difficulties like you wouldn't be.
Hey, Hype Train, thank you
Oh,
for the
Hype Train is
bug this
happening.
way,
Thank you for the hype
guys.
train.
Dubs, it's great. Hi everybody, I'm Latia Jaquise. You can find me on the internet at Latia Jaquise because there's only one of me, unless there's a doppelganger around, in which case, oh no. I will be playing Essequa Havenwright, everybody's favorite Dragonborn Bladesinger wizard, now with art.
Now with art
Image.
DM.
Image. Where'd it go?
Now
There it
with
is,
art
okay.
TM.
I love how very delicately you were like, unless there's another one and it's a doppelganger. Oh no.
Look
Hey,
at the pretty
there I am.
art. It's so pretty.
My favorite thing about this is you can put it over my face. I don't care. Jen did a great job on her makeup today. And
She
I feel
really
like that needs
did.
to be
Like,
seen.
Jen's
Mm.
eyes are
Um,
popping.
On point.
So my favorite thing about this is that, like many snouted creatures, when you are looking at me face on, it looks like my face is so flat.
It does. It looks so
You-
good.
You know, I could go on for quite a while about how awesome Luke McCay is. So, but I will say his perspective work is quite good.
And he is a ninja with a cough drop.
And he's a ninja with a cough drop, and for reasons, he's been drawing Dragonborn for a very long time. For reasons.
I wonder why.
I
that-
wonder why.
Not. Yay! Thanks for the subs, guys.
Thank you.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh, we're at level
here's
5, y'all. What?
here's Essequa in all her Blade Singer glory, looking awesome and being cool stuff.
As she's meant to be.
Being cool stuff.
Look, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I get
talk about Essequa the same way I talk about myself, which is very like self-deprecation, but also I'm proud of what I do.
As well, you
Yes.
So, all right. Special thank you to our moderators. I don't know why I pronounced it that way. Moderators Billith and Strike Red Kite. And let's get into the summary. This is episode 31 of Player and Book's first campaign, Secondhand Souls. Just for the audiences to be reminded, we are coming up on a year of this campaign. Just thought that was worth saying. Previously on Players and Book, dream a little dream. Who knows? Maybe there isn't a vein of stars calling out my name. No glow from above our heads, nothing there to see you down on your knees. The flaming lips, vein of stars. The souls stare at the accounting book that proves that Sargeroth's wheeling and dealing was in the service of purchasing a lichdom. They begin to theorize as to what his phylactery is before the poet asks if they should go get some drinks. After realizing it's the middle of the afternoon, the souls instead head back to their ship to pass a bit of time. Once there, the souls talk about disguises and cover stories for when they enter Brescia, and the scholar points out that the Avalon Academy has a match scheduled this year at the University of Brescia, so she proposes that they pose as scouts. This will likely utilize her role as captain of the Aurora Ball team. After the souls eat a bit aboard the ship, they then leave to visit the Squared Circle, a bar and grill along the coast. There, the souls have food, drinks, and even play a bit of music, including a new song by the poet and an older folk ballad called Argan's Song. The poet gets very drunk, as does Johnny Jubilee, and the whole group head back to the ship to sleep it off and experience perhaps some nightmares tonight. The Acolyte's nightmares preempted by a discussion with the god in the heart. She relaxes and asks for help in staving off the nightmares that her friends might be experiencing tonight. Her deity says he'll do what he can, but his wife, the god in the dream, is pretty insistent that this is her night to do as she pleases. The poet finds herself imprisoned alongside her father beneath the Brescian palace. She has a discussion with the hermit. He is deliberately vague and useless, but he takes credit for her suffering and guilt in a very annoying way. Either way, the poet is pulled out of her nightmare early by the god in the heart. I almost said God in the dream. God in the heart. The scholar discovers in a vision that her mentor, Soren, is working with something very old and very powerful. Crescenza, the marvelous muse, first lady of encores and unexpected key changes. This goddess has convinced Soren to put on a version of Hamlet, with her playing the lead inside Brescia's theater department. This play will be recorded by Soren in an illusion spell, and then distributed to the rest of the world. It is 11:59 p.m. on Wrath's Day, the 26th of Dreams. The sun is still up and will be for quite some time yet. And there's one dream left to have on this night of nightmares. Let's go ahead and move you guys to...
I have no visuals on Roll20
Gotcha.
tonight. which
I will
always
describe it.
good when it's my.
I will describe it in a bit more detail, but because you've been on a map like this before, do you remember the sort of celestial starry map with the dragon?
Actually, I can open Twitch and
Oh, okay.
look from here,
I
but
got
I'll
you,
just
girl.
be delayed by a few minutes. Give me a second.
But also, a nice description will help for those who are listening.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're standing at the center of a glowing dais
Okay,
with
yeah.
4 swords on either corner and a dragon made of stars looking down at you with a sun in its forehead. And this is very similar to the last time you were in this exact space. Just a little bit more, a little darker, a little more angry.
Oh my god. Sorry, we got a emote from the hype train and it's kind of scary.
What is it?
It's a flashlight that pans around and it settles on, I think it's a cat. And then the cat's mouth, like, opens in 4 directions and there's teeth everywhere and the light goes out.
Okay. It's a little bit like the character from the Captain Marvel movie.
It's,
that
it's
one
yeah,
cat?
kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if the Cheshire Cat smiled and then the smile kept smiling and then the teeth went everywhere.
That is a great way to put it, yes.
I like it.
Horrifying.
It, I want
Alright.
I want the frog butt one.
So the dragon, looking down at you, says, "Hello. It hasn't been very long, but hi.
Hello.
Hello. It is I again. I've put out those fires and solved those problems, and now, yeah, I went to come back.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Yes.
So did you have something else you needed to talk to me about? Or?
I didn't have anything I needed to talk to you about, but I left the last conversation fairly abruptly, and I just wanted to make sure that you had all of your bases covered. If you had any new questions that you had been inspired by, or that your friends had discussed with you and brought up new queries.
Just because it's been a while, were there other things that have been brought up?
I think, well, you discussed
It's been
it with-
literally 2 months since I've
Yeah, it has been a while. You guys had some discussions amongst yourself. I can't think of anything critical necessarily.
Nothing is springing to mind.
There was a lot of literally philosophy of.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what does that mean? What is free will? Do we have free will here?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but no questions we could think of.
Right. I mean, I don't recall asking if I have questions. That's quite a broad uh, idea. Of course I have questions, but there are so many. Just I'm just a little perplexed. What? So you have me. Is there? Where are we? This is different than the last
Yes.
place we were. So where is this place?
It's okay. So, as there is the night of nightmares that your world simulation experiences on this particular day, and I intruded upon your. There was apparently some sort of plan by a dream god or something that to force you into confronting some sort of terrible thing. So I just took over the entity at the center of your nightmare and went ahead and went to speak to you through it.
Oh, all right. So you're not the nightmare. You're capturing. You're using the mechanism of the nightmare
Yes. Sometimes
as a
it's
vehicle
easier.
for
yes,
conversation.
It's just better to use the simulation that's already in existence than to try and generate something new for you.
Right. Interesting. So So then that still leaves me with curiosity about what this place is.
This place, I think it was uh, some sort of mental manifestation of the dream state.
All right.
You've been in a place like this before, I think. Your thread goes back.
Yes. So is anything about this place jumping out at me? Is there anything?
I mean, it's like I said before. You've been here before, but it looks
Right.
darker and just more foreboding.
Okay. Um, is there anything in terms of the sensory experience of this place?
Anything? I mean, there's a little bit of a breeze, for lack of a better way to put it. You feel some air blowing in your face.
Okay.
Even though everything is still, like it's like you're in a frozen in a scene, and nothing is moving, but you do feel a little bit of a breeze across your face anyway.
Okay. There was something you said about possessing the nightmare, using the nightmare, the night of nightmares. I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Yes, that is pretty common when speaking with me, I think.
I'm kind of a big deal.
I'm just. You said that you were going to speak with me when there was something you needed to talk to me about. So
Yes.
what what is it?
Well, I know that you have a battle going on tomorrow. Something with fighting and Fae and it's a whole thing. I was looking at my simulation, and I am there's a problem.
Okay.
There's too much randomness. I I am a perfect predictor, and yet when I try to predict the events that will follow after tomorrow, um they do not conclude properly. It felt like the kind of thing it was worth warning you about. What happens tomorrow will shift the simulation in ways I cannot predict.
I don't understand.
Nor do I, and that is the problem.
Well, what if up until the point where things shift, what do you see?
I see you and your friends diving into the water and leaving this island, and then too many branching realities. The rounding errors become too plentiful and too difficult to avoid. Free will
Huh.
is more complex than I expected.
I'm sitting there just trying to not do a yeah think. Um, but this is an ancient god. Uh must not be petulant to the ancient god, must not be petulant to the ancient god, must not be petulant to the ancient. This is true.
Yes.
What's the last thing that happens before the simulation shifts?
Before the uncertainties become. I have a well, the problem is I do have predictions, branches, multiple branches, thousands of branches.
All
But
right.
the thousands become millions, then billions, then the infinities become very soon.
Right.
There is no single line ever. But you will probably, your ship will be improved in many ways. Well, in at least 2 ways. And then there will be a divorce and a battle and it get
What's
sorry,
dragon for shit's fucked up, yo?
I'm used to being able to perfectly predict your thing. There's definitely some sort of problem with the simulation. Free will should not be a thing.
Free will should not be a thing. I thought the purpose of
It's complicated. See, free will
I can't.
exists for you. Free will certainly exists for you, but free will always was going to happen. Whatever you do under your free will was always going to happen.
Oh.
Right. So you're saying that within the bubble of the finite there are infinite choices, but they become so within the prophesied sphere of the simulation there is a pathway that we must take, but to us it would seem to be free will, the same way that the earth seems to be, or the planet seems, well, no, we're not on a round planet, never mind, ignore that. In my dreams I imagine these planets that are so large that they would seem to be flat in one place, but the further out you go they would seem to be, they become spherical.
Like the planet of Heimel used to be.
Oh, it was round.
Yes, spheres within spheres. Before it was shattered.
Oh, yes, like that.
The way I have explained it to you in the past, the last several trillion times the simulation was run, is that how best to explain this?
Why do you sit there and say how best to explain this when you've explained it the same way previously?
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be just saying it the same way?
No. It's different now.
Well, then wouldn't
Except
you be
it's
the one
never
altering the pathway? Couldn't you be causing the fractal in
And the dragon's eyes go a little bit wider, as if he's been made to realize something. It is possible. I've run this simulation trillions upon trillions, infinities of times. And this is the first time that I don't know what's going to happen the day of tomorrow. So, perhaps something has gone wrong.
Welcome to our experience.
Yes. Although, now that I think about it, I'm reflecting upon various personalities and realizing that saying that free will is a glitch is probably not a positive thing to say out loud. Well, the thing is, someone made these decisions in the first place. In the simulated reality, there was a first. And so the decisions were made with free will, but now they will always happen the same way because they happened already. But this is a new version of the simulation with errors that I cannot account for. I must be experiencing the errors because I am running the simulation. You're correct.
Or things change over time internally.
Perhaps that is the point of this conversation after all, for
The
me
way
to come here.
a mountain erodes over time.
For me to come here and talk to you and have a realization. Yes. Yes. Well, good luck.
And you, I
Yes.
suppose.
If I erode further, I will inform you.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Yes. Well, I just realized, I think I might actually be kind of bound to this nightmare until you wake up.
So wait, just before I wake up, I want to just clarify something. I, you're sitting there. I'm just going to be honest with you. Sometimes you make it a little bit difficult to not feel like you're being a bit simultaneously naive because you haven't experienced having to have free will, but also lording it over us in thinking that you're the only one who has it.
Oh, yes.
And you might be wrong.
No, no, you're correct. I mean, I
You
do.
might be taking a view so wide that you're missing the nuances and the intricacies of the perspectives if you were to zoom in closer.
Right, missing the galaxy for the stars.
Yes, precisely. Well, actually, it's missing the stars for the galaxy in this case, is what I'm trying to say. It's the inverse. That when you're taking such a wide view of the world, sometimes you forget that there are individual smaller things happening.
Can I just say, this is the first fresh conversation I've had in a very, very long time. And it's kind of good, but also terrifying.
Again, welcome to our experience. We've lost Katie.
I think we may have.
You broke me. This whole thing has been shit. I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to devote several universes of thought to this exact problem and see if I can come up with a better solution. You have given me many things to think about, Jennifer Kretschmer.
Who?
And the dragon goes silent.
Rude.
Okay.
Is the dragon rebooting? Is that what's going on?
He's updating. Just let it cycle.
Everything's still frozen in place. I mean, you're here. You can walk around if you'd like.
He's just like staring at you.
Yeah, the dragon is just still and staring directly at you.
So, I'm just hanging out here until I wake up, or
Nothing.
okay then. And I start just sort of wandering around the space, examining the runes and giving it a look, because I guess I'm sort of stuck for the time being until.
And you got the four massive swords. You do notice that it looks like just below the dragon there is a stairway. You can't reach it from here under like physical power, but because it's about I'd say 10 foot gap, probably. Let me just double check. Oh, I'm sorry. No, about a 16-foot gap. So definitely can't reach it under physical power.
Okay.
Drones can wild shape.
Right, but what kind of distance is it? Is it that I need to leap? Is it that I need to fly? Is it that I need to?
It's just 16 feet away. There's just a gap of about 16 feet.
Okay. I mean, I should be able to. I think I have a climbing kit at rope.
That's fair. Yeah, you want to throw. Well, looking at the staircase, I mean, there isn't anything that naturally like stands out as grappleable, for lack of a better way to put it. But if you'd like to try and catch it on
Okay.
something,
I mean,
okay.
I can also. I can use Snonky to teleport there.
That's absolutely true. So, is that what you'd like to do?
Sure.
So you land on the staircase, just beneath the dragon. And the dragon like leans back and looks down at you and goes, Sorry, I was working on the computations. I didn't expect you to do that.
Again, I think we've passed the point of the unexpected is happening for you, so perhaps expect the unexpected at this point.
I didn't expect you to say that either.
I'm not going to repeat myself over and over on that.
Sorry, this is entirely a new experience. Well, not entirely new experience, but a fairly recently new experience for me.
Right.
I'm still coming to terms with it. I just spent a couple of eternities recalculating and calculating, and it's still I still haven't figured it out.
Okay.
All right. Well, this was fun. You wish to step beyond the boundary of your nightmare now?
I was actually curious about what's down here.
That's the boundary.
Oh. Okay.
The entity that crafted your nightmare for you put it in a nice box.
In a convenient stairwell.
Yes,
exit.
yes.
Huh. Well, that's nice.
I mean, it wasn't meant to be nice. I don't think it was meant to be like some sort of confront your fears, confront your concepts, and then
It feels
and
like
then
you were
escape.
the one who. Are we sure we're not in your confrontation of discomfort and? That's what it's feeling like. I'm not particular. I maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but this isn't hugely upsetting in any way to me at the moment. It seems like you're the one who's uncomfortable and unsettled by what you're confronting and experiencing.
That is.
We'll show the scale of
I
this conversation.
had not considered that. Right.
I mean, I'm happy to take this as my confrontation for the day, but it just.
No, the idea that I'm trapped here and forced to confront the uncertainties is. Yes. No. You've made an excellent point. But I'm the one who So I've created my own confrontation with my own uncertainty, and now I am uncertain. All right.
This is the essence of an existential crisis.
Yes, I feel it.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, gonna.
Not a bad thing.
Going to. I'm going to have. I'm. Yes. I've. Yeah. No, that's. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to run a few more simulations. See if I can figure this out. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mm.
Yeah, and so you said the exit is this way?
Yes, it is that way, yes.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Have a nice rest of your nightmare day.
Yes. Farewell.
And I walk down the stairs.
My stomach hurts.
I know that was our first scene, but we have been sitting here for an hour as players. Maybe we take our break now and let everybody kind of collect themselves after that
Sure.
scene.
Sure.
You know, I started wondering if just Riv's nightmare was awkwardness, but now I really do believe that yes, God is
She got sucked into his.
that. Yeah, can God create a nightmare so big that even they cannot wake up from it? I mean, here we are.
Mm.
So
It's okay. I didn't need to sleep for the next week. Thanks, Lauren.
who else? Who else but Riv would dream up a nightmare for a god?
This is true.
He leads off with
The point of Nightmare Day, it's the same way that like there are philosophies around death, or the way that is it who's the Timora's sister?
Oh,
Bashaba.
yeah.
Is like you invite Bashaba to the party
Mhm.
so that she won't show up.
Mhm.
Like those kinds of ideas where these things exist and they're not like, so the idea of the Nightmare Day was to confront things,
Yeah.
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 not in a bad way. So
confront
I
your
think
fears.
for Riv, when you kind of go in with acceptance, it's not necessarily the confrontation of a monster. It's instead it becomes creating
Yeah.
a nightmare for a god.
You
He
become
walks-
God's nightmare.
Oh,
He
by
wa-
the
he-
way, maybe this isn't mine. This is yours.
He walks in with
Surprise!
free will is a rounding error and walks out with maybe I'm a rounding error.
I imagine at some point during this entire scene, the God in the heart started to show up, thinking they were showing up to try to help Riv get out of this nightmare, stayed for a good 4 seconds, realized what was going on, and went, nope.
No. She's got this. I don't need to.
And then we'll tell Fairlos, yeah, absolutely, I helped out. That's the reason that Riv is fine.
Let's take our break.
Cool.
And we will be back. Was it 8:08 or it's 6:08 now? Let's give ourselves 22 minutes.
22. Woo! Okay,
So
give me
half past is when we're gonna come back.
just a moment. Okie dokie.
All right.
All right,
we will be
we'll
back
see you guys in
shortly.
just a few.
Oh, bye.
If I find the right thing. Wait, back soon.
Ahoy hoy, and welcome back. Now that God has gotten his existential crisis out of the way, I'd like to go ahead and go through our credits. Cartography by Shane Peku, cartography by Shane Peku Sci-Fi, maps by Luke Stratton, maps by Eightfold Paper, music by Tabletop Audio, character tokens by Greek46, custom tokens by Shane Peku Tokens, overlay art by Pack Stream, custom world map by frecklesketches, logo and character art by Luke McCay. You all wake up. You guys, I'm gonna put you on the top deck of the ship, but you guys are probably below decks. It's just easier for us to not move around too often on the maps. Yeah, I would say probably the only one who had a harrowing experience would be Tallulah. Everybody else had mostly neutral to... neutral would be the right term for most of it. To positive, I think Perlos's was pretty positive.
Yeah. I think even she would say it was a positive experience. She would kind of
Begrudgingly.
good-naturedly grumble about having to fish. But it would still, she'd say it was positive. And yeah, Fairlow's probably will, if not up first, up pretty early and get to the top of the deck and be very intentionally looking around and trying to listen for any signs that anything has started.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Or that Riv has had to leave because she already made God angry. And
God killed Riv.
No.
You know what, though? If the rest of us have to deal with the existential crises, then I believe that God should too. So,
Yep.
Welcome back.
Nice try. You can't
God.
smite her.
So yeah, you guys wake up. Johnny Jubilee and Cara Deeg are both already awake. Cara Deeg is cooking. Johnny is sitting at one of the tables nearby. They're having a conversation. You guys interested at all in what they're talking about, or?
Yes.
All right. Their conversation is mostly about Johnny is talking to Cara Deeg about Cara Deeg's brother and nephew. His brother being
He was on the
probably
aisle,
dead.
right?
He was likely dead. Johnny is talking to him about it, and Cara Deeg is just demonstrate, and he's also very, very worried about his nephew. He thinks his nephew is probably going to get drafted, and he's worried that something bad might happen to his nephew as well. Johnny's saying it. Johnny, actually, as you were walking up, I'd say Furlos was the earliest to get up. So, as you're walking up, Johnny makes a oath to, after everything is said and done in Brescia, help Cara Deeg rescue his nephew if necessary.
Oh.
Lauren and Fairlos are going to make a little bit of assumption that Johnny Jubilee is probably pretty serious about oaths like this.
Mhm.
He probably doesn't do this lightly.
His father, I mean, you would know this. His father is a paladin,
Yeah,
and it's
Oh.
rumored that he is also a paladin.
yeah. I mean, even if he wasn't a paladin, just
Yeah.
the reputation alone, this feels like it's a serious thing. So I think if she overhears that, she'll definitely come on forward and say, I doubt you actually would need help with that, but I would be happy to assist if you would need.
Cara Deeg is going to turn around because he wasn't actually facing Johnny at the time and go, I appreciate that. It has been on my mind a little bit, especially after my brother passed on, and I've already got enough people that I have to think about at the end of the day to make sure they stay alive. So,
Well, if you do hear anything about him beforehand, there's no reason why we have to wait until afterwards. Let us know. Maybe there's something we can do sooner.
I've tried some sendings, but they are getting bounced back. So, yeah.
Well, then we will keep trying when we can.
and I have a little bit of a pull with Avernian intelligence, and we may or may not have some people who can possibly look for your nephew.
Can you get a message to a flump?
Which flump? His eyes start kind of. Well,
There's a fella that we met at one point. He's, oh, what was his name? Roscoe.
ah, right, Roscoe. Yeah. Roscoe is currently on a secret mission. He ain't accepted messages generally.
That's a shame. I was gonna wish him well. I like Roscoe.
I
he
like
didn't
Roscoe,
shoot me.
too. What's that?
I said he didn't shoot me. Goes a long way in my book.
Oh. Well, I think most people probably haven't shot you, though.
You'd be surprised how many people will not qualify.
You look pretty good for somebody who's been shot a lot.
Well, I'm usually avoiding the shot.
Oh, fair enough.
Uh,
Fair enough.
uh.
Still,
It's the getting shot at versus the actually getting shot.
Right, right. I forgot the at part again, didn't I?
yeah, if you're doing your job right, if I'm doing my job right, I'm usually not getting shot at all. But I do understand the difficulties. Sometimes it comes down to outrunning a bullet.
I think she also is counting anytime someone just would like to shoot at.
That
And-
is also, I think, worth counting, and it narrows the field even more.
Or widens it? Fair enough.
I'm gonna head up top and start to take a look around and gauge how close we are to everything popping off. Let me know when you are all ready to go, and we're all as ready as we can be.
Aye,
We'll
aye,
start
Captain.
summoning some fae.
I'm going to. So when you go up top, Carlos, you guys are still docked on the side of the island.
Yeah.
And as you guys come up top, you see Pascal coming down in your general direction, and behind him are a group of workers. You're not really sure what they are, but they look possibly like maybe shipwrights.
And coming down is in down
They're-
into the ship.
No. They are coming in your general direction. They're still on the beach. They're about to reach your gangplank that's down.
Okay. I'll come to the edge of the gangplank, not necessarily blocking it. You know, not being unfriendly, but definitely like a friendly bouncer, like the bouncer who recognizes you but is still gonna card you at the door kind of thing. And go,
I know that guy.
yeah. Good morning. Can we help you with
yes.
anything?
We were waiting for you to awake. We the Duke Jameau is offering what's the word? He noticed that your ship is small and fairly defenseless, or at least it appears to be. You mentioned that it is enchanted in some way. We were offered, he would like to offer a enchanted figurehead.
What does it
Okay.
do? I'm here now.
So,
Etsuquad just apparates next to
Enchanted? Here
yeah.
I am.
Enchanted,
Okay.
and Fairlos knows Etsuquad well enough to know that when Enchanted is spoken, she's just gonna appear and doesn't even flinch.
If
I'm
it's
gonna-
okay, if we hear voices on deck, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
all
yeah,
of us, just to
that
make
would
it
make
easy.
perfect sense.
Can
Yeah.
we assume also that at breakfast I filled them in on the dream?
Ooh,
Yeah, we
Fabulous.
If you want, you could do that. You got plenty of time between now and anything going off.
I mean, I just.
Oh, you
it's-
just wanna
there's
do it,
nothing
yeah.
that I really would.
Riv just wants to tell us she broke God's brain.
I mean,
Well, that too.
Understandable.
And we will nod and say, yeah,
I mean,
you do
I
that.
think it's less focused on that and more on that there was basically a prophecy that these things were going to happen in this order. So just be aware that if things happen, things may get wild.
But yeah, so as players, I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to pick a uncommon magic item that you would like the abilities of to be applied to your ship.
Oh, okay.
And I guess the only other thing Fairlos would do is to make sure that this would be something that could be installed quickly enough.
There will be a couple of. I'm sure there will be limitations if you guys come up with something like I'd like it to. Probably not flight, I would say, for example. But there, you know.
Can we burrow? Can we get all of the different ways that movement speed can happen? Can we have a burrowing ship?
You
Flight
said
comes later.
uncommon?
You guys don't gotta overthink it too much. I mean, the way you guys play, maybe a proof against detection and location.
Take one thing off of.
I love
Faraday.
how you just know this stuff off the top of your head, and I'm like Googling.
Yeah, amulet of proof against detection and location.
Oh,
Can we have a boat of holding?
Wait,
No.
Lauren has something.
I don't remember if it might be an uncommon item.
Here, I'm looking. So
There's the helm that lets you.
Oh, what about
speak
Eyes of the
all-
Eagle?
Speak
Helm
all
of
languages.
Comprehending languages.
If we do
I-
the helm of comprehending languages, and then Essequa speaks to the ship, can then the ship's become a translator for everything?
Here's the
'Cause we're going under
here's
the
the thing
sea.
with that. That is very specifically beneficial. Do we want to direct it to something like that, or do we want to get something that is like an active enchantment, like Eyes of the
I have
Eagle
no idea.
is an item that gives you perception advantage.
I have a clarifying point. Is this one thing from each of us or one thing?
One thing in general, and to be clear, it will only apply to the ship,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
not to the people aboard it. Not
Okay, so like the an item that benefits
Right. If it was something that like I know most of
perception
these are-
would not work.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
if you wanted your ship to be able to see more, then that would be
Alchemy
good.
jug.
Alchemy jug.
We need
We've got a
ship that
mayo
can
deck.
make Listen, you all have played with me before. I will make the mayo happen, despite the fact that it's Fairlos. It
That's
will happen.
exactly why I said it.
Oh my god, that's so amazing.
I mean, it will happen somehow.
Oh! What about figurine of wondrous power?
That could be
Have the ship summoned something?
No, the figurehead becomes a living
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
creature on the ship.
If we want
The creature is
uncommon, our
friendly
only
to you
option
and your
there-
companions. It understands your languages and obeys your spoken commands.
It'd have to be the Silver Raven only.
Yeah, that's the only option that we have.
Yeah.
The Silver Raven.
I mean,
It's not bad.
There's no silver.
one thought
raven-
is
oh, there
bottled
it is.
breath, because that would always give us wind in our sails.
Oh,
Um,
that's smart. Y'all are smart.
That is interesting.
Oh man. Wander fireballs is rare. Our ship
Aw.
can just shoot
Ship of
fireballs.
fireballs.
I would say I did have some thoughts about the returning enchantment you can pick up from artificers, which can be put on as an uncommon artificer thing, which could be useful for your cannons.
Trident of fish command.
Can we do the ring of truth telling and then no one can ever tell a lie on our ship?
No, I would hate that.
I know,
that
I
would-
know.
Yeah.
Please
that-
no.
I know. I'm just
I
throwing
like
stuff
the
out there,
idea.
but
I like the idea of the wind fan, so we have a constant gust spell on it.
Yeah, that was like the bottled breath thing.
Yeah. Oh, is
I
that
mean,
the one you went with?
If we think we can get to a removed curse quickly, we could do a cursed luck stone.
I mean, did I take remove curse this morning?
No.
Sometimes I don't remember.
I know we talked about how you always have to take it when you play our hero.
Or here always has it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't. Da, 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 da. I can make sure that I can remove the curse tomorrow, but I can't do that right now.
Types
Dust
of
of
haunting.
disappearance could be fun, too.
What was that?
That one's
It's a,
crazy,
a
actually.
vanished ship.
That's cool. Also, how about restorative ointment? And now we got a ship that heals itself.
That's
Oh.
Mm.
Oh. I like that.
Or ring of jumping, and we have a ship that jumps. I mean, we could have a ship that heals or a ship that jumps. Tell me which one is cooler.
Elder Cartographer's Glossography, which would, I mean, this is a very practical thing, but that gives us help with intelligence and wisdom checks with
That won't help
geographical
us. It would
focus.
help the ship. That was one of the things I brought up, was something that would give us a perception bonus. And Sim said no, it wouldn't affect the people on the ship. It only directly affects the ship itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Potion of growth if we ever need a bigger ship.
I think
You're
we're
gonna
need a bigger
boat.
boat.
I mean, I feel like for that you have to create.
I still want
its
the boat
own
of holding.
spell.
I mean, perhaps.
Honestly, I will say bag of holding. I was thinking about it, and like that probably does exist. I would argue that it's probably a rare effect for ships to increase their cargo holds to that
All
level.
right. Although that would be problematic because then you couldn't carry a bag of holding and go below
Exactly,
deck.
and you can't have anything that you can't put in a bag of holding
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. Yeah, I think that's not our best bet.
Yeah.
I like the idea, but I think the actual execution of it is less.
The detection and location, the proof against detection and location would be really heckin' useful.
But don't we have that magically right now?
So
No.
So we do through Caradig. And so what I
Yeah.
would so the good thing about it, it's still very useful because
Yeah,
it
but
would
he has to
save-
manually cast that.
Well, yes. So that's what I'm saying. It would still help because it would remove the need for him to have to do that all the time.
Mhm.
So either we could do something like that, which is useful and saves him a little bit, or we could look at something that currently we don't have the ability to do.
Mm-hmm.
Something like, helping heal the ship easily, helping the ship be able to do something else, so like the bag of holding thing, as much as yes, it would be cool, but there's problems. We already have other ways of storing stuff. The proof against detection we could do, and it would be useful, but we already have ways of doing it. So I would suggest let's look for an option that gives us something we can't currently do.
Yeah. I like...
Guardian Emblem is interesting if we're having to fight on the ship. It's basically the ship mom arming for us and taking a hit that would have hit one of us.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
I was looking
That's
at something
interesting.
similar with missile snaring, because typically you're going to see
man.
cannon fire.
Grabbing a cannonball and throwing it back at another
that's
ship,
amazing.
and then talking to the cannonball meanwhile.
Hey,
Right.
did you tell them to go fuck themselves? Cool.
That's kind of amazing.
I do kind of like that. I like that.
Is that going to be our cannonballs going to be too? Go ahead.
Immovable rod. A boat that cannot be moved.
So it's just the ultimate anchor.
You can pull the rod up and it can move, or, like you said, ultimate anchor.
Sim is like, what have I done?
Marion's
No,
having
no, no.
regrets.
No, the whole point is to get you guys to be as creative as possible. But so we had the missile snaring, gloves of missile snaring, which Jennifer, you were about to ask if the cannons were too big to be whatever.
Yeah, the cannonballs were too big for the missile snaring.
The answer is no. The cannonballs would not be too big for the sake of the ship's using that ability.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna fight for it, but I think it's funny as heck. Had a disguise, we ever want the ship to just look like another ship.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
we need
that's
to,
not a bad.
if we
That's
need
pretty
to
awesome.
infiltrate, if we
Yeah.
we now
There
need
was-
to infiltrate the dwarven strongholds, and
There
now
was
we look like a
another
dwarven
one I
ship.
was looking at that was similar, and I thought about that, and then hang on, let me go back. it was like on the first.
Flippers of
first
spider climbing. The boat can creep on land. It just gets little tiny spider, like daddy long legs, spring out from the side of the ship, and it just goes popping around.
Baba Yaga's ship.
Baba Yaga's ship. Okay, it's not the chicken boat. What would it be?
I mean, why can't it be the chicken boat? Why can't the legs be chicken?
Yeah.
I
legs
guess it gotta be
instead of
daddy
spider
long legs. Because it's just so
Oh,
off-putting.
I think it was this. Was it the Circlet of Human Perfection?
Circlet of human-
Yeah, I was looking at the Circlet of Human Perfection.
Also, I would vote that they'd be octopus legs because obviously.
I mean, that makes sense
yeah,
too.
I guess
That
that's
makes sense
fair,
too.
but I don't know. I just really like the idea of teeny. I think it's because I saw a really disturbing video that had a lot of daddy long legs in it
Oh
recently.
wow! Oh, it's and that is uncommon. Now that's fucking amazing.
What?
Circlet of human perfection, because what we're talking about is turning your ship into a person.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what?
No, I mean
10
like-
minutes every day.
Literally turning
like an actual, like it's like a
human
transformation.
form.
Oh,
Like the ship
Oh.
can turn into a human.
how long does it
Yeah.
Like
last?
polymorph kind of thing?
Kind of.
It
yeah.
lasts.
Well,
it lasts
it
as long as
looks
it's
like it.
wearing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which in this case, I would say it's like the effect can be deactivated or activated. Based
Right.
On, yeah.
I mean, my guess would have been
That's
not that
crazy.
it actually turns into a person, but that it turns into a human style ship, like a
Mm.
ship that would pass as a human ship
Interesting.
I mean,
to
I
allow
could
us
see
to pass
Yeah.
through certain fleets.
I could see that, or I could see like an old enough dragon that can literally shapeshift. It becomes a ship.
I was thinking that
can-
it was just
that
becomes
can
a
become
person.
yeah, which is now wild that suddenly the ship just becomes an NPC with us.
See, that felt like it was too fancy for
Yeah.
a
I like
little-
that. And by the way, everything you guys are pitching exists in the world somewhere. Just to be clear.
I'm,
Cool.
I don't want to take the ship with us.
So
And
I-
and honestly, it's purely from a mechanical perspective because the ship gives us a place to keep all our stuff, including the NPCs, like Kara. And if we take the ship with us, then that puts a lot on having to arrange for the people who are normally on the ship to be arranged for as well. Does that make sense?
So it totally makes sense. The funny answer is when you polymorph, all that stuff just gets sucked into your body anyway, which is both
the
funny and
people-
horrific. I know, funny and horrific. I think I know. The corollary though is I think it's good that we don't take the ship with us as a creature of any sort, because then what happens when they die? Because they're gonna get targeted. What happens if and when they die?
Yeah.
So I think in that case, maybe it's good that they're not. I'm not saying we don't do the intellect thing so that they can be a person on the water, but going as far as them being a person who can, two legs go walking, that probably is not a good idea.
You guys have definitely met a ship before, though. I'm gonna say
Spider
this
boat,
for sure.
spider boat.
Yeah, we can't be the first
floats
people
on
that have thought of
water.
this.
What about a propeller helm?
Okay.
Flying
For-
ship, flying ship.
It's funny you say that. I was just looking at the broom of flying.
Yeah, see, I mentioned the flying
Yeah.
before, for a reason. Actually, I'll tell you right now. I think if you guys want to, instead of broom of flying, if you want to do winged boots, to give some limitations on it,
I'm still leaning toward missile snaring
missile snaring
or
would
the
be fun, too.
healing, the one that was for healing.
Although I will I will argue for someone else's suggestion of the flight, because the easiest way to outrun a cannonball is to just not be in the range of the cannonball.
It's the cartoon, like you get really tall with your legs.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
There's no wrong answer here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
just-
that's the
not.
thing.
there's
Yeah.
too many fun answers is the problem.
That is fair. So I feel like we've got a list of what is it? Winged.
Well,
I've got 2 more pages to go through. Give me 1 second.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
go
wanna-
ahead.
we make it a soul coin, and then
I
we
mean-
give the ship another soul.
I mean, this
Okay.
all right. So this is gonna take some
World of useful
time.
items. Just the ship has random things tucked into surprise compartments.
Oh my god. No, what's the one where you pull out animals?
Oh, a
That's
bag
what.
of
That's
tricks.
a bag of tricks. It's a
We
bag
can
of
have a
tricks.
boat of tricks. You just reach into the hull and pull something out.
And for some reason, they're all frogs. What?
They're all frogs of different sizes. So you either get
With
one of those like
different
little tiny poisonous dart frogs. You get the really big bullfrog. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
this is interesting. Saddle of the Cavalier, which
Ooh.
means you can't, as long as you're conscious, you can't be thrown
Knocked
off of
off
your
your-
mount. So we couldn't be thrown overboard.
Would that
Yeah.
apply
Be
that
the
way?
equivalent.
And attack rolls against the mount have disadvantage. Let's be clear. So attack rolls against your ship would have disadvantage, and you couldn't be thrown off of it.
Hold on.
I have a
think
new
I
vote.
really like that.
I
That is-
really like that
I
one.
still have a couple pages, but like
Yeah.
I
That-
think
that's
is
at
a
the top of
really
my list now.
Interesting one.
I'm gonna say if Fairlos is presented with this list, she's gonna look at that one
It's-
and want that because she's gonna be thinking about what happened to the two of them that got knocked
that
off
first
the ship.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
This
why.
is- this
that's
is a
why
player,
I flagged it.
This is actually a player decision. When you guys decide, that's what they're going to have available. That's what they're
Okay.
bringing to install.
Okay. I really
makes
I
sense why
really like that
uncommon.
one. The Cavalier one.
Cavalier, yeah.
Saddle
like that.
Cavalier's pretty good.
I like that one. I like the healing one.
Those
like
I think are
those
the two
healing
that
is
I'm
really-
most interested
Yeah, but that
in
one,
too.
the ointment does have limited uses.
Oh.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple of other healing ones that don't have limited. The healing ointment was just the first healing one I came
Mhm.
across. There's a parapat of wound closure. I
There's
think
that,
is-
yeah, yeah. But that
There's a
doesn't.
couple of.
That's a
yeah.
little weird how that one works. That's for like you can roll your hit die or something extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as the ship has hit die. Also, whenever you make a death saving throw, you can change the roll of 9 or lower to 10. So if our ship gets really, really hurt, it's probably not going to die. But yeah,
Hey.
there's options.
Uncommon glamour weave could be really interesting too. There's some fun.
I
stuff
did
we
look
could
at that
do
one.
with that.
What
yeah,
was that?
because we're in water. Uncommon
Uh,
glamour weave.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm on a different
Um,
list.
If we.
Oh,
All right. So
We're on the magic items page and just filtering by uncommon, so that way we're
Oh.
looking
Filtered by
through-
uncommon and then
Yeah,
core,
yeah.
core books and
yeah.
Yeah, I just
something else.
Googled. I didn't go through rolled 20
Oh,
like somebody
wait.
who was clueful would.
I will say if we do decide to go for healing, then the parapat
Oh,
of health would be
here's-
the way.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That would be the way that I suggest because that one you can take a magic action to regain 2d4 plus 2 hit points. You can't use it. You can do it once a day, and then you have advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the poison condition while you wear this pendant. So it would be daily. You could get
Yeah.
health back. It would be kind of a
recurring.
continuous use.
I
thing.
like the missile snaring in that case more because it's not a per thing.
Yeah.
Saddle of the Cavalier is still probably the best of all possible worlds. but-
Yeah.
They're all good.
Wheel of Wind and Water could be really cool. I just heard Candide in my head.
Yeah.
All for the best in this best of all possible worlds. Wheel of Wind and Water for Fairlos is like that. That should happen at some point.
That's just something you guys
Wait,
could
That's
install
just
on
that's
your ship.
just should be.
It's a
built
new
into
steering wheel.
Fairlos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's
Wheel of Wind and
here.
Water.
It's Lauren. I'll
When
put
mounted
it-
at the helm of an elemental galleon or airship, this wheel allows a creature that possesses the Mark of Storm to tell. Oh, because it's Eberron. Okay, Mark of Storm to telepathically control the elemental bound inside the vessel. If a wheel of wind or water is mounted on a mundane sailing ship, which ours is not, so who cares? Oh, mounted. Oh, interesting. Hmm.
So I think I was just closer to the second, but
yeah.
Mhm.
it still felt
Control
like it
against
was.
that.
Now I'm starting to think about like when the Saddle of Cavalier keeps you guys from being dismounted from the ship. I'm thinking about the concepts of like when you guys are fighting underwater and you get thrown off of the ship. What that looks like.
I mean, I suspect it's just our feet always stay attached to the
Unless
surface
you
of the
want,
ship.
unless you.
No, I'm
choose
saying
to-
if so you didn't
Yeah.
choose that, what it would look like when you guys get thrown
Yeah.
off the ship and the ship's moving fast through murky
I-
water and you can't see where the guy that got thrown off is.
Yeah, I'm leaning
So-
more and more towards that one as this
I'm-
conversation is going.
So on the funny side of things, not serious, I'm looking at the Wild Space Orrery. And
I saw
thinking
that
about
too.
thinking about our ship turning into a spaceship, and so it would be the same thing as our ship being in space as being in the water, but
Yeah,
I'm not actually suggesting it.
Katie knows where we can find one.
Get there,
I mean,
Richard.
there were a couple of things that I looked at that had to do with that I was thinking, oh, if we end up needing to fly or go into space, this could be equally valuable in the water or
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
line.
I've got I tried to pay attention to what you guys were most excited about. I got winged boots, gloves of missile snaring, saddle of the cavalier, and what else?
There was one oh we talked about
the
one of the ones
healing.
that did gust of wind.
Right, one of the wind
Flame.
Yeah.
ones. Although
I
your
think-
your ship's already enchanted to travel as fast as it could go.
Oh, right.
And we all have
Um,
access to wind, to being
Yeah.
able to do gusts, but so I think if one of those two things wasn't
Yeah.
around,
I mean, similarly, the balloon pack is kind of.
I mean, that would turn us into we would be old school flying, right? Would we like to be steampunk? Would we like to turn our
Is
boat
that
into a steampunk
question-
flying?
Well, but the other perk of that is if we ever end up falling off the edge of because we are living on a flat
Yeah.
plane, and at some point
Okay.
we could reach the end of the plane and fall off, and
Mhm.
that having that feather fall could save us.
That's
Mm.
fair.
I think that's super cool. But
I'm
I think
sticking
also,
with Cavalier.
I think that's a future us problem.
Valid.
Yeah.
But I think that's a super cool thing to like tuck away for later.
To get a
For sure.
conclusion on this, I'm still got the three I just said. Unless you guys want to add another one to the list, I thought we'd just go around and see what you guys could vote for to sort of speed this up. So who's for the saddle of the cavalier?
Me.
Yeah.
Are we voting just
3?
once, or is it like a ranked
gonna-
choice voting?
No, you'll choose one out of these three. So are we all okay with that? All right.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with it, but I'll read them all off so I know which ones are.
I had saddle of the cavalier, winged boots, and gloves of missile snaring. Those were the three that seemed like got the most pop. Yeah, that's the right word.
I feel like we will have the best benefit out of the Cavalier.
It looks
The
like we
saddle.
had 3 out of 4 voting for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is
wings
that?
or saddle of the cavalier it is. So they do bring in a figurehead. It's just around the corner, and it comes around the corner, and you see, and it comes out, and it is in the shape of a smallish for your ship. It's appropriate for your ship size. A kraken. With a
Too soon.
with a book, much like our logo.
Oh, how about that?
Love it.
And they'll take a couple hours to install it. I assume Furlish will probably want to remain on the ship while that's happening at the bare minimum.
100%, and I think the longer it takes, the more she is trying to dampen her anxiety, because
Right.
every moment that passes is a moment where everything's gonna pop off, and she doesn't exactly know when that's gonna happen. So it's like
It's fair.
she does, I think outwardly she does a pretty good job of not being antsy, but anyone who knows her sees the tension in her shoulders as like the first hour goes by, and then things get a little more tense as the second hour goes by. But yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh.
walk over to Furlos at some point and just kind of sit down next to her. What you stressing about? Your jaw is locked. Like you got a walnut in there you're trying to crack.
I mean, in fairness, isn't it usually?
Right, but there's an extra firm... There's a muscle that you can see that's protruding out from the fur.
Well, any moment now, fighting's gonna start, and we need to summon some fae and get going doing the thing, and I would be very unhappy if there were some people hanging off the side of our ship in the middle of that. Let's put it that way.
Do you think the Duke would send people to do this without plan and time for it to be done?
I think the Duke probably does not know exactly when some random Fey captain is going to cause the ruckus.
Right.
I
So-
don't think. I don't.
But we
think any-
initiate that.
No, we do not. She's coming when she's coming.
Oh, that's right. We sent her last night. I was in my cups.
That's okay. But that's why. So I'm just gonna stand here.
Well, if they show
Because-
up, we'll entertain.
I will stand here, and if they show up, then I will do my best to try to protect these people while the rest of you deal with the Fae, and hopefully they will be close enough to being done that nobody will have to leave before they are done. Because if it comes down to it, these people being safe is more important than us being able to have that magical item on the front of our ship.
This is true. But also keep in mind that the people here are not defenseless. This house is fortified. It's,
That's true.
And the people who are here are very passionate and very stirred up. You're probably going to have to keep a lot of them out of the fight if you're going to try to protect them. And you're going to fight them to keep them out of that fight. This is very personal for these people.
Well, they're also on my ship, and so at this moment, they are my responsibility, whether they like it or not.
This is true. I
So
thought you were
that-
talking about the folks on the island.
No,
Just
well,
the ship.
the folks on the island. I do have a vested interest in their safety.
Mm-hmm.
The folks on this ship, I have a very personal vested interest. They are under my direct care.
Well, I can tell you this. If you tell them to drop off, they'll drop off. So if it gets to a point where you need to, tell them drop off.
I know. I just hope we don't get to that point. But you asked why I was chewing rocks, and now you know.
It's a
I'm
fair
standing
reason.
here hoping that the only thing that's gonna go wrong in this moment is that my jaw's gonna be a little sore tomorrow morning.
Oh,
So
wouldn't that be
maybe
great if that was the worst thing that happened today?
I will be very happy if that is the worst thing that happens.
What do you make of the whole situation we're going into? With the Fae here? Think we can pull it
Hey-
off?
The face specifically?
Yeah. Because, actually, we should probably get everybody together for this one. Souls!
Yeah,
Here,
and
Cara D is
Fairlos
somewhere on
will-
the ship going,
Yes, you're one!
I mean,
Right.
if anybody has any specific plans, I'm more than willing and welcome to hear it. But I am unsure once we get past the whole summoning and requesting of things, if there is anything we can do besides wait for the interpersonal relationship to work itself out. That being said, I'm willing to entertain any other suggestions you all might have.
We are going to... So, just so we're all on the same page. I had been planning to use my request. Is everyone still on board with that? To bring him here? Okay. So, that's going to... When he gets here, what are we asking him for, then? Because originally I had an idea, but I don't know if the rest of you would go for it.
I thought the request we were asking was to make it so the ship could go underwater.
I thought we were getting that from her as the payment for bringing him here. Is it the other? Are we getting that from him?
you're only getting one favor redeemed, to be clear.
No, but the arrangement. My understanding, the
Yeah.
arrangement
She's
was
gonna owe you a favor in return.
right. We cash in a favor with him, and then she owes us one.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we don't have to cash in the second one right away.
So he can make our ship submersible. I thought she had to do that.
Could be either or.
Okay.
Just equally
Yeah.
All right.
So
That
as
was
soon
that
as
was
she
my
gets
bad.
here, you cash in your favor
Right.
to summon him to ask to make our ship submersible, and then by summoning
How are we
him,
phrasing that? Because we need to be particular. Make it amphibious? No, because that would mean it goes on land.
Could do both. Do we want to ask for our ship to have the qualities of a submarine,
Dun, dun,
which
dun.
would therefore
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah, we would like our ship to have the qualities of a submarine because that means that it goes underwater. That also means that while it goes underwater and we're on it, we should technically be safe, which would be nice so that I don't have to cast water breathing every day.
Do we need to
Um,
specify that it's a working submarine?
Speaking of which, have you spoken with the ship today?
No, I haven't.
I was just because if I'm gonna in a pinch, if I need to make us invisible, it needs to be a creature again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can do that if you want me. Just whenever that needs to happen, I can talk
It's-
to the ship.
I mean, because it doesn't have to be during the time you're talking to the ship. We already worked out the particulars that once you talk to the ship in a particular day, it just becomes a creature for the rest of the day, I guess.
Right. Okay. Well, once we've decided this, I can talk to the ship.
Okay.
I
I'll be
suddenly
back
feel real
downstairs.
awkward about walking on the ship after you talk to it, knowing that it's still conscious.
I will say,
Well-
Carlos, you've been worried a little bit about the timing. They are finishing up right now and getting off the ship.
Fearless lets out a sigh, loosens her jaw, and she'd been paying attention to everybody, but there is now a sense that the like looking out the side of one eye and keeping an eye on things, even that has now turned to everybody. Okay, so we are asking him to come and give our ship the qualities of a submarine,
Qualities and abilities.
qualities and abilities of a submarine.
Is someone writing this down? I'll write it down. All right.
Yeah, Tallulah, you're the one who's going to be doing the summoning, so you
Right.
should be the one who has it on hand.
All right. All right. Let me...
And then at
Why do
that
I have
point,
so many utensils and none of them right?
why are you keeping the utensils if none of them actually work?
I don't know. They're just there.
Unless they have sentimental value, I would suggest, you know what, we can do that later. So we ask him to do that. Whether he does that immediately or not, there will then be the issue of whatever's going to happen between the two fake captains in that moment. On the best side, they agree to divorce, and that is it, and they go their separate ways. We
That's
are
the
done.
best? That's the
That's-
best story you can think of?
Yes.
Carlos.
It's quick, it is congenial, it is done.
The best story is
It's
that
what
they
they
slay
want.
eyes on each other and fall in love all over again.
No.
No.
That's no. When people want to get a divorce, they should be allowed to get a divorce.
But ask, she wants a divorce because he doesn't remember her.
Of course, Tallulah would be unable to recognize a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it also doesn't. If one, it does that's a one yes situation. If somebody wants that, like honestly,
Oh
think
no,
about
I'm
it.
saying if they both don't want each other, then that's fine. But give love a chance to
But
win.
you want to get remarried to someone who forgot you?
He had to forget her name because of some sort of deal or curse or something.
But
We
he also
know that
forget.
for sure.
We
Yes.
also know he forgot her. This isn't just the name. He forgot her.
Right.
I'm also coming, admittedly, from the direction of it is best for us, if that is the case.
I feel like there's a bigger story.
Oh, absolutely. But as far as our story is concerned, the best possible outcome is she says, I want a divorce, and he says, I do not remember you. So, yes, we should get a divorce, and they are done and go their separate ways. Now, if they decide that they would like to go off and remember each other and at least give each other a chance to remember each other, that's fine too. Whatever the situation is, as long as it is quick and done and does not involve either any of us on the ship, I will consider that the best possible outcome.
All right.
As
With-
long as it is consensual and quick.
Everybody
Oh,
with a
of course,
perc-
consensual.
Everyone with a passive perception of 18 or higher.
Not
No, that ain't me.
16. No, just missed it.
Anybody else? No?
Also 16.
16.
Okay. Then you don't hear anything.
No, Fairless is still hardcore thinking about consensual and quick.
Let me check Snonky, because Snonky.
What did Kara get?
Yeah, Kara.
Carol went back downstairs after he had the awkward conversation with Essequa.
Okay, and how about
Snonky's got nothing.
how about
Snonky's got
Johnny
nothing.
Jubilee? He
Jonathan
probably
Jubilation.
yeah, he probably's got pretty
He should be
decent.
good.
Well, since you've asked, Johnny Jubilee.
John-
and-
Oh, and Reginald.
John J. Jubilation.
yeah, Reginald's not very well statted.
Jonathan
he's-
J. Jubilation.
Jonathan
Jonathan
J.
Jonathan
Jubilee.
Jonah Jubilation.
Johnny is going to actually he's going to come up from below decks and say, you guys hear that?
Or what?
Hear what?
Cannon fire.
Oh, shit.
Very distant. Somebody's firing from a really, really long distance.
I'm going to the crow's nest with my
uh,
scope.
Tallulah, as you start to do that, Tallulah,
What?
why don't you stay down here as you're the one that's got to do the next action?
Oh! I climb down and hold the scope out, begrudgingly.
I'll go ahead and take the scope and climb.
Go ahead and make a perception check, though he has pointed you in the right direction, so with advantage.
Okay. Hey, 21.
21's going to be more than enough for you to see the flag. A flag you weren't expecting, but that you very readily recognize. Furlos, the Hivern Union flag.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
Okay.
Coming from.
Hang on. I'm
Come-
having a tech issue. There we go.
Oh.
Okay,
Coming
we're
up-
back.
Oh, okay. You see the Hivern Union flag. A fleet of ships is coming from around one of the nearby islands. And it seems like one of the Brescian ships that was currently surrounding this island fired a warning shot? Maybe? Some sort of a shot
Mhm.
in their general direction.
Okay, so I know my brother is coming.
Yes.
He got waylaid by somebody who we don't exactly know who that was, but
Lumps happens.
we suspect was the captain with no name, I think.
Yes.
But we don't know exactly. I'm trying to think who else, like he's the only one that we know of that would have be flying, but he's not coming unless he's convinced a whole bunch of people from the
Hivern
from
Union.
the
You had
from
heard
Avalen to fly the
you had heard that Commodore Morris was a soft yes for this engagement today. Commodore Morris being the guy who is essentially the pirate privateers aligned with the Hivern Union.
Oh,
and
right.
he would fly the Havern flag in that case.
That is not normally the case, no. But that's
Well,
the
is he a privateer or a pirate?
He is a
Because
privateer.
privateers do fly the flag.
He does not always. It's a
Ooh.
little complicated the way they handle things. It
Okay.
sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on it depends on the purpose that they are accomplishing at the particular time.
I'm gonna yell down what I'm seeing, but before I go on down, I want to take another look at whatever looks like the lead ship and see if I can see any other distinctive markings to tell me is this the privateers, or is
Looking
this something
closely
else?
enough, I want to not to distract you from that, but the lead ship is Jade Green,
Oh.
which is something you recognize.
Mhm.
It is not flying a Hivernian Union flag. It's the only ship in the fleet that you see coming in your general direction that isn't flying a Hivernian Union flag.
Oh, so it may be that they basically are just following in its wake
Seems
because it's
like
cutting a
they're
path.
they're basically right up on top of them, and they're all going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Fae that we're expecting is cutting a swath, and
Yeah.
okay.
Party's on the way.
Yeah. Okay. With that, I'll scamper on down. All right. Well, Fae Captain is moments away and is bringing either the Havern Union or a bunch of privateers who have sided with the Havern Union, or something else who are willing to fly the Havern Union flag. One of those three.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun for it to be a bit of a surprise, but the Hivernian Union has just declared on the side of the Brescian rebels.
You thought it would
Oh.
be a surprise.
I thought it'd be fun. You gotta have a gotta have a little bit of fun now and then.
I run over to the deck and facing the direction they're coming and just let out this big woohoo.
I'm gonna stare down Johnny Jubilee and say, your idea of what a surprise is and mine differ very, very greatly, even if it is a good surprise.
I apologize for attempting to introduce some whimsy into your world.
Whimsy is good, planning is hard when I don't know what's about to happen.
Well,
I would like to tackle Johnny.
okay. To the ground, or just like
Yeah, basically she's like hooting and hollering, and Ferris is doing
Okay.
stern mom, and then as soon as Ferris finishes, Tallulah just comes flying in from the side and like tackles him.
You know, normally Fairlos would probably like try to stop her, but in this case, even though it is a joyful thing, Fairlos will just continue to like, seeing her come out of the corner of the eye, just continue to like stare at him dead on, like, really, you weren't going to tell me everything that was going on? Poof.
I love this.
Let's see if I can hit him. Let's see, rolled a hit.
with advantage because he
Ooh.
was distracted.
Okay.
Nice.
I am staring him down.
Oh wait, I can do it this way. Nah. I'm just gonna do an unarmed strike roll.
Also, Furlos, roll an insight check. You are staring at this guy.
It's one.
Okay.
13.
13 will get him.
Jesus.
26, natural 20.
That's a natural
Okay.
20 for
So
26.
we'll resolve Tallulah's tackle for a second.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you managed to tackle him to the ground. He is extremely distracted. You're not aiming for his armor class in this situation.
No,
It's
no.
just-
She basically just tackles him down and then sits on top of him and is like punching him in the arm, going, "Why did you do me? I can't believe you would keep this secret. This is fantastic."
I thought it would be fun. Ow, but Furlos, he wasn't sure. He's pretending like he was sure, but he wasn't sure.
Okay.
Nice.
He's taking credit for a surprise because he wants to have a little bit of fun. But I mean, with a natural 26 of insight, I'm gonna
He's
he's just having a
bullshitting.
little bit of fun.
With the 26, do I also get the sense that he has realized on my ship you don't do that shit?
I think what he's realized is that any attempts at fun in the future will be Furlos proofed.
He's gonna incorporate the Furlos factor into all future
Yeah.
plans.
What I'm trying to get is like, if instead of fun, because she's pissed off because she's trying to plan everything,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of moving parts. Does she get the sense that he now knows she's just pissed off because
Yeah.
she's trying to keep everyone safe?
But he's also getting the sense that like you're not into the little practical jokes and pranks, especially when it's a serious issue. Yeah.
That's also fine.
Mhm,
Like if he
mhm.
thinks that too, but I think as long as she thinks he realizes that her motivation is keep everybody safe, she will let him keep his secret of.
Are you
he didn't
trying
know.
to do damage to Lula?
Yeah.
No,
I assume
no.
not.
This is like the closest thing I can think of is like if your best friend were to throw a surprise party, and
Gotcha,
you're
gotcha.
like kind of smacking them and yelling at them, but in the happy, playful kind of way. If you're violent like me, then that is the kind of vibe.
So what's happening right now is the green jade ship is just barreling towards the island, whilst the fleet of the Hivern Union is curving off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, you also see the flags of the give me one moment. The flag of the Sisters Zavala and the Chapeau des Cercles.
Oh,
Okay.
It looks like all three of the pirate fleets, or what remains of them after the dragon attack, are all here and on the way.
Damn.
uh, I'll turn to Essequa and Riv, and first to Essequa say, maybe you should talk to the ship real quick so that we can be prepared to be invisible quickly.
She's already on the. She's probably 5 minutes into this 10-minute ritual at this point.
Yeah, I think she turns to you and starts to say that and goes, excellent, and then turns to Riv and say, is there anything else you would suggest we do before we have to talk to a bunch of Fae? We were kind of in the middle of that before we got distracted.
Uh, I don't know.
That's fair. I don't know either. Let's see if we can make this all happen.
All right, Essequa, you are
Yeah.
talking to the ship.
Good morning, friend.
Right, Scott.
I forgot what he sounded like.
When did he become Christopher Lloyd?
I don't know, but the more Christopher Lloyd he becomes, the
Like,
happier
when-
I am.
He
When
started.
did
He
he
started.
turn
He started
He
like a
wasn't-
bad impression, and I'm trying to slowly make him a better impression.
Oh, I didn't.
You
Okay,
what?
I don't know if I ever got that he was dark brown, but I love it so much.
Yes, he is.
So much.
I led off with the last couple of speak with ships with Great Scott just to try
Yeah.
and drive it home.
I don't know that I've been here for any
It's
of
possible.
those.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like I thought he was. I think maybe I thought he was Nixon.
I am not a ship.
You know, I could see that after the Great Scott. I could 100%
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Like so until just now, that was I think.
This is so valid.
But yeah, he comes to consciousness suddenly, and
He just didn't have wild hair and
that's fair.
And now he
a
does.
DeLorean.
Exactly.
He was a DeLorean.
You. Go.
Hi. Take
Hi.
a second. You know how this goes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. What's you've installed some sort of. There's something been installed on me.
You know what? In
It's a
retrospect,
Mr. Coffee that takes banana peels that takes us to the future.
truly, in retrospect, I feel like I should have spoken to you before the installation. But how you feeling about it? How you feeling?
It's great. Why would I dislike it?
Hey, we're all about consent here. So, I mean, I apologize for not speaking to you beforehand, but because we figured it was going to be a good thing, then we just went ahead and did it. But in future, I will talk to you before those things happen, unless you would like to give blanket consent for future improvements now.
I think that's fair. You're the crew where you get to decide those sorts of things.
Yeah, but it's also like, how is it gonna affect you? But that we're
I'll let you
wasting-
know if there's a. I'll let you know if there's any. What we're wasting?
No. I was just gonna say I've only got 10 minutes to talk to you.
Oh, that's fair. Yes.
Yeah, no. I'm happy to have this conversation, but we also have a very limited amount of time. But I do want to say that the reason that I'm talking to you, in addition to just talking to you, is that we needed you to be a creature against because we're going to go invisible.
All right. I will do my best as a creature.
Thanks. So, while you're absorbing the stuff that's happened in the last little bit, do you have anything to say about our present situation?
Uh, Karadig is a profoundly sad individual.
There is you all, if you are looking at Essequa in any sort of way, her face is not able to hold that one in.
Oh.
Okay, do you want to elaborate on that, or do you just think he's really sad?
But his entire family has been wiped out over time, and the only thing he had left was his brother and his nephew. He talks about like thinking about them to keep them alive because he believes that once he's gone, no one will remember them and they'll be gone forever.
Right, the whole thing about
Yes.
yeah.
He puts aside time at the end. That's profoundly sad. He puts aside time at the end of every day to go through details about each of his dead family. It's awful.
Okay, can we maybe reclassify that as a sort of sentimental thing and not profoundly sad?
I don't know. That's how I say it.
Well, maybe if you spend more time as a creature, you might reframe that. So let's work on that.
This hits me kind of suddenly. I have to deal with it all at once.
I know, I know, and you know what? In that context, it's understandable. But let's try and reframe that as
You know what
the
this
more.
is?
Mm.
This is relationship therapy.
Jesus, Jen!
Yeah, we lost Lauren to a pun.
You know what? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're starting the game with Riv. Or the shipbreaking Essequa. One of the two. I'm not sure.
Overlay.
You know what? Hold on. That was hilarious because I like that. Like we all just like broke to the point where Katie was like, no, the stream's over now.
Put on the stream ending screen.
I can't believe that this game is almost going to be bookended with Riv and Essequa basically breaking inanimate objects through the power of emotions.
Yeah.
And
It's our modus operandi
Existential
at this
crises
point.
on the high seas.
In your psyches. Existential crises in your psyches.
On the high
If
seas.
if you are an object or not. Okay, I'm sorry. Please
did
continue.
you have anything else you wanted to know about? Johnny Jubilee is fun.
Well, yeah, we know that. I mean, it's kind of in his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've taken to calling him Jonathan J. Jubilation in my head.
I like it.
I mean, no, unless you have anything of import to tell us during, in now that you kind of caught up to the last couple of days of stuff.
No, it's you unloaded the food, everything was fine. There's people on and off and on and off and oof. Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, everything's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I had to go categorically through each of the individuals that came on and off the ship. They seemed all right.
Okay. I'm gonna rip that one from the metaverse and ask the ship if it had a nightmare.
Oh.
Not yet.
Well, no, you're fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. You know what? You weren't a creature during the day of the nightmare. The day of the nightmare has passed. I think you're safe.
Right, but the nightmares go into the morning and it's still morning.
No, you didn't sleep.
But what happens when you... And then the connection cuts out.
When you don't exist, is that sleep?
I know.
Oh, when you sleep, where do your fingers go?
Where do your feelings go?
What do your fingers know?
It's been quite a few minutes, and the Green Jade ship is
That sums
beelining it.
things up. It's been quite a few
Quite a few
minutes.
minutes.
Been quite a few minutes.
Is already nearly at the river inlet that you guys sailed up in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out a piece of parchment.
Mm-hmm. I stand at a place in where the captain with no name will hopefully see me first so that I can indicate that they are invited onto our ship.
That's fair. It takes very little time for her to make her way up the river. Almost slides into place next to you. And
The Akira slide next to us.
Right?
I was actually very much imagined that, and then you hear a shout from the front of the ship that you recognize as the captain with no name that says, "What's up, bitches?"
I love her.
Without missing a beat, because somehow Fairlos knew that was how they were going to be addressed. You are welcome on board, Captain. We would love to speak to you.
Until you say that, they don't put the gangplank down. But as soon as you say that they're welcome on board, gangplank goes down, and she makes her way over. She is currently not in her centaur form. She is in a more fairy form.
Mhm.
Grab.
While
Oh.
Sim is doing that, I would like to point out that Lurking Writer says that they know Lauren said Akira slide, but heard it as Orkira slide. So now I'm imagining Orkira.
I thought she
doing,
said
like, this
Orkira.
I did too.
doing this kind of like Orkira, like this kind of like dragon slide with wings out that looks like an Akira slide, and I'm here for
Well,
it.
and the fire streaks.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
I'm here
love for
for it.
Orkira to be that cool once in her life. That would be amazing.
Dude,
She's
Orkira
had
is
a
that
few
cool
Is
every
that
day of her
cool?
life.
Here's the thing. She would like to think that, but I know what her acrobatics score is, and
If it helps, it's better than Seisha's, and Orkira is Seisha's hero.
now that meta has happened,
Yes.
Does the captain come over with anyone, or does she come?
She comes over
They,
alone.
she, okay.
She. I think.
Okay.
Well,
I believe it was she,
I have
they,
it.
but I
One
might be
second.
wrong.
Okay, but this captain with no name comes over by themselves.
yes.
Okay. I will, as they arrive, I'm looking over to Lula, but I'll say, thank you for coming. We are about to ask for the person that you've requested to talk to come and join us as well.
All right. Well,
She.
I will just wait for that to happen, I guess. If is it all right for me to wait over here? And she walks next to Johnny Jubilee.
We expect this to not take very long, and you are welcome to wait anywhere on the ship. And then I'll turn to Tallulah and give the, please have this go quick look.
Upon a twilight throne of fading grace, King Oberon lay down in dreamless sleep. No memory stirred of her fair moon-kissed face, nor her sweet touch, though love once rooted deep. The forest still, where once their laughter grew, now weeping leaves bear dew for vanished flame. The nameless queen of dusk and sapphire hue, forgotten, only stars still speak her name. He walks alone through thorns and silver mist, a stranger to an ache he cannot name. Alack, a kiss once shared, now lost, adrift, the bloom of love hidden upon the main. Yet nature dreams their love will they reclaim, for who is it when love speaks not its name?
Yeah.
We love a sonnet.
Clink
And
shot.
with that, the king below joins the queen above on the deck of your ship. Sorry, do I know you?
Who is he pointing to? Everybody, or
He just did a swipe across everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've
Yeah,
met. We had
I'm your wife. Oh.
The rest of us are just acquaintances that you owe favors to, which is why you are suddenly here.
Yeah.
Tallulah here was going to request a favor, and then your wife wanted to have some words with you.
Oh, I can wait. Get your thing done.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
No, okay. Right. Well, Your Majesty, we've given it some thought, and I have decided on my request for what I would appreciate as a reward for the service that was done. Are you amenable to hearing such things right now?
Sure.
Excellent.
That's the point.
It is. This is our ship that you're currently on. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you. This is the lessons learned.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. See? Catching
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. You fixed the clockwork lady.
Yes. Yes. Well, I have to give credit to my companions on that one. They did a good job. In the meantime, I would appreciate it if, for the return of service, you would grant our ship the qualities and capabilities of a submarine so that it can ride on top of and below the water, keeping passengers safe as it goes.
I can do that. Done.
Just like that.
Sure. You want to try? Well, no, it's pretty shallow here. You wouldn't want to do that here.
We trust if you say that it has been done, that it has been done. We've seen your
Yes.
power before, and so
What do we have to do to activate its submersible abilities?
I think if you think about it, if the person behind the wheel thinks about it hard enough, should work.
I look at Essequa. Got that?
I don't drive.
I thought you drove.
Carlos drives. I just point.
any of us can
Oh,
steer the ship.
right.
But-
Yeah.
Yes, I think any of us can take care of that.
All
Thank you.
right. Well, then there you go.
Well, if that's all you needed, I'm gonna and the queen above, the captain with no name, is going to speak up. Hold on. I'm your wife, and I'd like to get a divorce if that's all right. And he goes, all right. And she goes,
I
really?
pat Tallulah on the back. They're there.
Like, really? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. I don't want to. I may have. So you're who again? I'm your wife. Right. But not anymore? Not if you say so. Okay.
You don't remember her at all?
I mean, we make an insight check.
Yes. Yes, I would. Not that I'm good at
Faking amnesia.
it. Natural 20!
What?
24!
He knows exactly who she is in this moment. Now,
Okay.
natural 20 is going to tell you he didn't until she spoke up and said, "I'm your wife." He did not recognize her. As soon as she said that, though, it clicked, and he's playing a little obfuscating stupidity sort of deal right now.
Okay.
Mm.
Is it maliciously bent or mischievously bent?
Honestly, with a natural 20 insight check, I'm going to give you a little bit more information. I almost used her actual name. The captain with no name took up position beside Johnny Jubilee, and her body language
Yep.
is like weirdly flirtatious,
Yeah.
even though they whatever.
Yeah, it's
And
Aegon's
Oberon
kid. Of course she is.
Well, no, you get the inclination she's just doing it for show. She knew he was about to be here, and she's just, and he is bothered by it.
Okay. She's trying to make him jealous.
Yeah. a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay.
Johnny Jubilee, by the way, is completely oblivious
Yeah.
to this circumstance.
Yeah. That tracks.
He doesn't even know that she's like leaning a little too close to him. He's completely oblivious currently.
So he's being pretty much everyone in the face of flirtation and is completely
Yeah,
oblivious.
completely missing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
That's fair. Yeah.
20 years later, wait, was she flirting with me?
Wait, what?
Some
Right.
set of characters besides the obvious namesakes of these that have this relationship.
Yeah.
who is it that I'm blanking on in fiction?
It's a lot, actually.
Yeah.
This is an archetype that
There are quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
There's
It's probably
there's-
why you can't pick one, is because there are a
Yeah.
panoply.
I can't think of any. Like there's I don't know. It's bugging me.
But yeah, Oberon is still being like, yeah, sure, whoever you are, it's no big
Jesus.
deal.
I mean, she is quite a catch, if you'll pardon my saying.
Sure.
Seems
sure.
like-
and I wish her nothing but the best.
Mhm.
So, you know what? It's been a great marriage.
Jesus Christ.
And I appreciate everything you brought to the table.
I ain't touching this, and I turn around and walk a few feet away. Just kind of lean on the rail.
So
Riv will step up
okay.
Mm.
because
I'm
Oh,
I'm
here
I'm
for
gonna
Riv's side of
actually.
the
Can I
ship.
can I
I
do
mean-
something real quick to give
Yeah.
Riv information?
yeah, because I realized
Yeah.
Riv would not step up.
I'm
without-
gonna kind of turn when I go. I'm not touching this. I'm gonna turn, and I want to, with my back to the Fae,
Mhm.
kind of angle myself so everyone can see me and go
Okay,
and mouth he knows and walk over to the rail.
because it's Riv's day of breaking immortals.
I know, and I'm so
Fantastic.
here for it. Let me
Yeah,
enable
let's go
you.
for a hat trick.
And it's basically
Oh.
going to be the same argument because that's the argument you use with immortals. Riv steps up and very kind of casually goes, well, times change. Relationships change. You can't expect things to be static. A relationship should be choosing every day to be with the person you're with. And so if it's not working, it's not working. That's, I want to say it's sad, but the reality is it's change. So let's get paperwork signed and everyone can move on with their day.
Is
Oh,
there paperwork involved
it's
in a
already
marriage
dissolved.
like this?
Yeah, it's just
Hmm.
it's just a spoken sort. It's
Well, then why are we all?
that's a good point.
I think we should all. There's the time's ticking. The fighting's happening. I mean, there's so much going on. It seems like maybe we need to just be moving on with our day.
That's a
and
good point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
essentially, Riv is trying to make it feel now like the power has shifted over to the unnamed captain's side,
Yeah.
and Mr. I don't care. I'll call his bluff. Essentially,
Jen, I love
Are
you.
we gonna go to
so-
the bar now?
Jen, I love you so much, and I'm doing this with love. Are you okay? Fairlos rolls an insight check on. Riv.
please,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
And the actual truth of this is Riv actually does believe this
Mhm.
part of it.
Oh, sure.
Like in terms of framing of relationships, Riv's all about that and also recognizes that face structures of relationships probably don't echo
Human, mortal.
human structure or
Mhm.
even human structures. There are tons of human structures of relationships.
Mhm.
So Riv is already in that space of you do you,
yeah.
but also if you're playing a game, let's play. Let's
Mhm.
play ball.
And
'cause-
that's the thing she's trying to insight is because you're saying everything that Fairlos basically wants to say is great, this is all, very consensual and you've done the thing you need to do. So why don't we move on? Because, there's a fight going on. So Dirty 20, does she pick up on the fact that you're playing the let's get the unnamed captain a chance to change her mind?
I mean, yes, all of these things are true.
Yeah.
It's all true at once. It's if they really are not gonna go there because they have all the time in the world to do whatever they want, and that game, that Petruchio Kate game can play out their bedroom games over hundreds of years if they want to, with every twist of the
Mhm.
game. So they don't have to square anything off today. But also, so if it works out, great. If it doesn't, great. If we move on quickly, fantastic. If we don't, not as fantastic. but essentially, we have nothing to lose by engaging unless we piss him off.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
you're going
only.
to what you're going
And
to
Riv is
see
feeling
here,
very confident against him
I am
today.
keeping an
Um,
eye on him like a hawk.
the king the king below is going to kind of like eyeball the queen above, and he's going to be like, do you want to I mean, I would love to get to know you again. We could maybe take a look at your ship, see what's going on. And she's gonna kind of move away from Johnny and then into the king's direction, and say, sure, no problem. And
I
he's
grab
gonna
Essequa's hand.
he's gonna lean into her and whisper something, which I'm assuming you're all going to
Oh,
whisper.
yeah.
Of course.
So go ahead and roll your perception check.
Yeah, I guess I
Oh,
will.
25.
Heck yeah.
26.
Nice!
For Furlos.
With a natural 20.
Nah, I don't care.
Fairlos is like, I need to know what's going on so I can say the right thing at the right time to get them off my ship.
And
I
I'm
only
just
have
like,
a 12,
whatever.
but I
Gotcha.
figure somebody will fill me in later.
Of
and
course.
also,
Yeah.
I'm also really kind of engaged in this dynamic and curious about it. And you know, these are the romantic games of the immortals. This is the Iliad is a soap opera and a sitcom at the same
These
time.
are my stories.
The gods are so over the top that
They're so extra.
He leans
they're
in.
so extra.
He leans in and he says, so do you want to make out? And she says, there's a giant sea battle we're going to have to go fight. So yeah, obviously.
Absolutely.
And we're going to end our session there as they leave your ship,
I was about to say, do they leave the ship?
as they walk to her.
Okay.
Furlos, the back of your neck.
As they leave the ship, you see that
Yeah.
Fairloaf finally lets out like the other half of her jaw that she had been holding onto the whole time. Just like, okay, let's get ready to go under the water and go. And then that's
Oh my
right.
god.
Lord,
what
what fools these
delightful.
immortals be.
Right.
Lauren loved all of that. And every single moment, Fairlos is just like, shut up, shut up, shut up. What's
That's
going
fair.
I don't
This
what
was-
what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
This was
Uh,
such a fun
go, go, go,
game.
go,
Like,
go.
oh
I'm
my
glad
god.
you guys had fun. I'm going to go over the credits real quick. Cartography by
Yeah,
Shay and
credits.
Peku. Cartography by Shay and Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek46. Custom tokens by Shay and Peku Tokens. Overlay art by Pack Stream. Custom world map by Frecklesketches. Logo and character art by Luke McCay. And Katie, what do you got going on in your life?
Hi, I'm Goblin Katie. I am about to get back into streaming. I'm actually going to put together a schedule and be like official with it. So, follow me on my socials, Goblin Katie, or at goblinkatie.com on Bisky if you're nasty. And yeah, that's me. You okay, Lauren?
I just was not expecting that last little bit. I am Lauren Urban. Her. You can find all the stuff I'm doing at lauren-urban.com or on the Beaskie as lauren-urban.com, because sometimes that works out really well. Hey, did you like all the Fae shenanigans? Do you want to see me playing a creature that actually likes all the Fae shenanigans? Come watch me on Fridays on Shadows over Baldur's Gate on the Crit Hit Chronicles channel, where I'm playing a dragonborn ranger / rogue who is from the Feywild, who is a problem child. So everything that Fairlos is, Udazash is not. So if you'd like to see the exact opposite of everything going on, you watch that show. It's also amazing. I get to play with other absolutely amazing people. And then if you need more Baldur's Gate in your life, then on Sundays right before this stream, I am on the Dungeon Scrawlers channel actually playing through Baldur's Gate. We're getting towards the end. It's almost the end. And if you'd like that character Orkira that seems to come up and likes to do an Orkira slide, which apparently is a thing now, that's a character I'm playing there. So watch my Bisky and you can see all the clips and everything coming from there. And thank you. Bye.
Or Kira's doing the slide in my head right now.
She's
Yeah.
doing, and it's not
Oh!
the dance slide. It's just she's sliding.
It's not the right color, but hey,
It's happening.
Oh, the
It's a
dancing.
it's a dancing dragon.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
And he's like, what's going
It's in chat. Sorry.
I see it.
Hello, I am Jen Kretschmer. You can find me on the interwebs on Blue Sky as dreamwisp.bisky.social, Instagram as dreamwisp. I'm going to be posting some cool photos of shiny things in the next couple of days, and I have projects announcing in the next whenever soon. Someday, eventually, but soon, because soon. I am sorry I haven't been posting much. I have been in work mode for a while, and it has been eating my life. So, yeah, that's it.
Hello. I am Latia Jaquise. You can find me everywhere at Latia Jaquise. I still have nothing going on except for the fact that I'll be at Gen Con. So if you're also going to be at Gen Con, then come say hi to me. I'll be wearing a wizard hat because that's how I go to conventions. Yeah.
I'm misspelling things. I apologize. Sorry. I'm making noises.
I was also making noises.
We're all making noises. That's how talking works. But thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. I don't have an outro yet, so try not to die. And like I said, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye. Where's the oh, there's the thing. Hey.